Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about sniper rifles and designated marksman's rifles, or as they're commonly referred to as DMRs. When I posted my first SVD video, a discussion took place in the comments section below the video about whether or not it was a DMR or whether it was a sniper rifle. And that's what I want to talk about and address in this video. What is a DMR and what is a sniper rifle? And is the SVD a sniper or a DMR? And how about other rifles like this SIG that I have sitting here in front of me? So that's what we're going to talk about this afternoon. Hope you guys enjoy the video. I think most of you guys would agree that the M1D sniper rifle, which you see here, is in fact a sniper rifle. This rifle was used by the U.S. military towards the end of the Second World War. It was pressed into service late in the war. The 1903 A4 Springfield bolt-action rifle was the primary sniper rifle during the Second World War. This rifle was pressed into service again late in the war. It saw very little use, if any use at all, in the European theater, but saw use in the Pacific theater. After the Second World War, the U.S. government started to retrofit a number of existing Garands in inventory and made them into M1D sniper rifles, and they were used extensively in Korea. We saw them used in Vietnam, and as a matter of fact, I've seen reports of these rifles still being in U.S. armories as late as the early 1990s. Now, of course, other rifles replaced it as a sniper rifle in the U.S. military. After the Korean War and after the Vietnam War, we started to see the use of more bolt actions by the U.S. military, but these were still in inventory and were still used. So why would you call this a sniper rifle and you wouldn't call the SVD a sniper rifle? Some guys out there, guys that I consider to be experts in firearms, would argue that a DMR is defined by its accuracy potential. And they cite the SVD as an example. The SVD, they think, is capable of 2 or 3 inch groups. My SVD with match ammunition is capable of 1 inch to 1.5 inch groups fairly reliably. So if the standard is 1 MOA, where did they get that standard? Some would argue if it shoots an MOA or better, it's a sniper rifle. If it doesn't shoot 1 MOA, if it shoots greater than an MOA, which is about 1 inch at 100 yards, then it's a DMR. But I don't think you can define the rifles that way. I don't think, well, certainly there's no written definition that I can find in the U.S. military doctrine or anywhere else that that is in fact a true statement. Really, how you define a sniper rifle versus a DMR is through the application of the tool. This M1D can be used as a DMR or it can be used as a sniper rifle. The same is true of the SVD. This is a beautiful old warhorse. I really enjoy shooting this rifle. The M84 scope only has about 2.2 power, but it's still capable of maybe a 1 inch group or so with the right ammunition. Average group sizes, though, are going to be right around 1.5 inches or so with decent ammunition. About the same, again, as you'll see with the SVD. Back to the SVD. Is this rifle a DMR or a sniper rifle? That, again, as I said previously, depends on the application, depends on how you use the rifle. It has nothing to do with the features of the gun, the fact that it's a semi-automatic. The M1D is a semi-automatic. The M110 is a semi-automatic that's used by the U.S. Army. And I should also mention that the U.S. Army expects the accuracy of the M110 to be about 1.3 MOA, which is roughly 1.5 inches at 100 yards, yet they define it as a sniper rifle. Semi-automatic, has a scope. Matter of fact, it has many of the same features as the SVD that you see here. The SVD came about in the early 1960s. It is true that the Russians used it as a DMR. They felt that the traditional sniper role was no longer needed after the Second World War because of the heavy use of assault rifles and submachine guns. So what their doctrine called for was issuing a bunch of purpose-built rifles, and that's an important distinction, purpose-built rifles to be issued pretty much to every platoon. So you would have, in essence, a sniper with you wherever you went, and you could put heavy volume of fire on the target because it was semi-automatic and fired from a 10-round magazine. Fire very quickly, large volume of fire, and you could extend the range past standard rifle distances. The AK is good to 300 meters for most people. You can push it out to 500 yards, but you have to be a really good shot. This rifle is definitely capable of 500-yard shots out to 800 yards, and honestly, you can shoot it to 1,000 yards if you want to. Much like the M1D, the U.S. military said that you can shoot the M1D out to 1,000 yards despite its little over 2-power magnification. The standard scope on the SVD has a 4-power magnification. The one that I have on here is different than the last time you saw the rifle. This is a POSP. And this one does have 8 power, and it is a mil-dot reticle that's in here. And the reason I went slightly higher magnification is because it helps me to bring my group sizes down. So again, how the rifle is used is how you define what the rifle is. While the Russians use this rifle as a DMR, you could very easily use it as a sniper rifle. I think that you'll find there's a number of U.S. troops out there that have come home from Afghanistan and Iraq that ran up against these rifles in the hands of capable shooters that would say that they were definitely snipers. So that, I think, is the most important distinction, is not what the features of the rifle are or even what the accuracy potential of the rifle is. Heck, an AK can be a sniper rifle in competent hands with an optic. I think it's defined more by the person using it and how they're using the rifle. Yeah, that hit it. That hit it. Pounding it. Yep. Yep. I've talked about the application of the rifles and how that defines whether or not it's a sniper rifle or a DMR rifle. So what are the differences between the sniper and the designated marksman? First of all, a sniper is going to go out either with a 2-man team, maybe a 3-man, or maybe a 5-man team, but they're going to go out on a mission looking for a specific target. They're going to set up a hide. They're going to wait. They're going to find that right target. They're going to engage the target, and then they're going to break contact. They're not going to stay out there and get in a prolonged gun battle. They're after a certain target. They're going to operate sometimes as small, again, as a 2-man team. You're going to have the sniper and his spotter. Sometimes you'll have a security detail that'll go out with that sniper team. But they're operating as a dedicated sniper team. The DMR, or the designated marksman, is operating with a squad or a platoon. They're in support of an infantry unit. They're working with the infantry unit. They're not going out specifically sniping or looking for a target to take a sniper shot at or take a shot at as a sniper. They're working with that group or that fire team or that squad or that platoon, and if they take fire from a target that's out of the range of a traditional rifle, the DMR rifle comes out, they try to engage that target, but it's in support of that platoon or squad or fire team. So that's the basic difference. Another thing, if you take a look at this FN SCAR, this rifle certainly has the accuracy of a sniper rifle. This gun is capable of sub-MOA accuracy with match ammo, but it's also lightweight and it's semi-automatic. This rifle would make an outstanding DMR because if you are operating with an infantry squad or platoon or fire team, this rifle can be used on door-kicking missions. You can actually clear a room with it. It's a battle rifle, or it can be pressed into service as a long-range rifle that a designated marksman could use. But you could also use it as a sniper rifle. You could take this rifle out, you could set in a hide, looking for a point target at 800 yards, engage that target, and then break contact and go back to the rear. So this rifle is certainly capable of handling both the role of the DMR or the traditional sniper role. And that is also true of this SVD. This rifle has a 24-inch barrel. Later, the Russians started using 20-inch barrels, which would make it a shorter, handier rifle. But because it's semi-automatic, it's capable of being used as a DMR, as a door-kicking tool. But because of its accuracy and the fact that it can engage targets out to 1,000 yards, it's also capable of being a sniper rifle. So in the sniper world, typically you will see bolt-action rifles being used. And many times people will look at a semi-automatic rifle like this SVD or this SCAR and say, oh, well, that's a DMR because it's semi-automatic. Or, oh, it's a DMR because it's not capable of shooting sub-MOA groups. But that's not true. Now, the reason a sniper rifle can be used, or a bolt-action rifle can be used as a sniper rifle is because, again, a sniper's not going to go out and engage a bunch of targets rapidly and sit there and go toe-to-toe with a platoon of enemies. Not typically. I mean, it's happened in the past, but that's not what their primary goal is. Because they're operating in small teams, they need to engage, break contact, and get out of the way of danger. So bolt action works well for that application. You're not going to go kicking doors in with a bolt action. If you do, you got big brass kahunas, and you're darn good with that rifle, or you're darn good with an M4 that you have slung across your back, or with an M9 Beretta, it might be on your side. So really, again, even though there are similarities between sniper rifles and DMRs, you can't really define one or the other simply by its accuracy or even by its features, with the exception of the bolt-action rifle. I would say that a bolt-action would make a very poor DMR because it's not semi-automatic and it can't engage targets rapidly. So there you have it, guys. That's how I see things. That's why I don't agree when people just automatically assume that an SVD is a DMR. Yes, that's how the Russians used it, but no. That's not the only application for the rifle. It most certainly is capable of being used as a sniper rifle, and it is used as a sniper rifle in many places of the world, not necessarily just in the Russian military. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen in this video, you can ask those questions on our Facebook page. I'll put a link to our Facebook page down below. Also, please come by and check out Copper Custom. That's our online store. If you want to support the Military Arms channel, that's the best way to do it. We have some really great prices and quite a bit of product and inventory available, so please come by. I'll put a link down Copper Custom's website down below in the description. Thanks again for watching, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.